Hi. Hi everyone. Do you hear me? Do you hear the sound? Please type plus if you hear me well. Okay, thanks. So glad to see you all here today. It's Wednesday, it is 6 p.m. Evening here in Switzerland, the 1st of March, and this means that we are ready to start our webinar on InnMind. I see that people are coming and registering. So while we are waiting, could you please share where are you from? I have already told that I'm here in Switzerland. Our speakers today are in Portugal. So where are you guys? Slovenia? While you are answering, Marco from Switzerland. Hi Marco, hi Matt. While you are typing, let me briefly introduce you myself and our platform. So my name is Nelly, hi, and I'm co-founder of the Global Startups and Investors Direction InnMind. InnMind connects startup founders with investors, business angels, venture capitalists, and corporate strategic investors, as well as target professionals in variety of field. So through InnMind, you can network and collaborate with experts, mentors, coaches, startup lawyers, and variety of other professionals connected with global startup industry. But in addition to networking opportunities, we have plenty of awesome stuff, useful stuff for startups, which can help you to develop and grow your projects in any stage, from the very, very early idea stage until the growth period. For example, regarding the useful stuff, we have a document section where you can find legal templates and useful document templates like investment agreement, contracts, incorporation documents revised by professional startup lawyers and available for you to download for free. All you need is just to have a registered startup profile on InnMind. I will ask moderators to send the link while I'm moving forward. So at the beginning of this year, we launched a new initiative, webinars, and for this we invite professional experts and experienced professionals in a variety of fields to speak and to share insights on the most important issues of startup development and growth. For example, a few weeks ago we have had an investor who was speaking about fundraising. We have had marketing experts sharing insights on how to promote projects without marketing budget. And today our topic is user experience. How do you think? Why did we choose user experience as our topic for today's webinar? You know, many people make a mistake thinking that user experience is something which is applicable mostly for online projects or SaaS startups. That is not true. User experience is the science of understanding your customer needs, your customer pains. It is something which is responsible for how much your clients will love or maybe hate your product. User experience teaches you how to understand your customer behavior, how to understand their psychological attitude and mentality issues. This knowledge of user experience, implemented into product design, can really help you to dominate on the market. It is essentially important topic for all startup founders and for the majority of projects and products, both online and offline. That is why we have taken this topic, and that is why we invited awesome experts today. So let me introduce you Alexander Pichugin and Maria Chichenkova. They have a huge experience in marketing, in neuromarketing, in psychology, in branding and product design. In addition, Alexander is Master of Applied IT in Management and Maria is Master of Developmental Psychology, including neuroscience. In addition, both of them are co-founders of a great company called Great Who. It is the international branding and digital marketing agency. So it's better one time to watch than 10 times to discuss. So I'll give my word to the speakers today. Alex, Maria, you are welcome. Could you please start?
Okay.
Hi, can you hear us?
Hello?
Can you see us? Can you hear us? Okay. I think we can remove headphones.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, they echo because two speakers at the same time. Okay, first of all, thank you for attending.
Thank you for joining us today, yes.
I see that more people are coming. And we already saw that we're not only from Portugal, but in Switzerland, but many other countries, and it's really great. And we want to first thank InnMind for providing the opportunity and the platform for that webinar to share what we know, what we are experts in. And please write in chat, this will be really important. What company or startup do you represent today, or you owner of? Because we need to know what examples from which industry we need to provide you during the webinar.
So about what cases to discuss and or what focus on. Please write us about your company, about your product, about your needs.
How do I gain control? Great. What's more?
Waiting.
Okay, let's
start from the very beginning.
You have for meditation app. Okay, nice. So let's first introduce ourselves and give big background for you to understand.
My name is Maria Chichenko. I am a professional in psychology, psycholinguistic, neuroscience, and design. And my partner is Alexander Pichugin.
I am an expert in user interfaces, user experience design, systems architecture, interaction design, and web technologies. And
together as founders of Great Crew, it's multidisciplinary digital design, branding and marketing communication agency. We are working with all types of user experience, with all points of user experience, and gathered a huge experience to share today with you.
Yeah, and the important thing to mention that we treat user experience as all points of the contacts between any product, any brand, and its consumers and users. So, the bespoke furniture. Yeah.
I would ask a moderator to gather together this information about companies and share in our doc, so we can later to see and to talk in details about some businesses and some products.
Okay, and about the background of ourselves a bit, about our company. We actually have been using neuromarketing techniques for a while, even in design. For a while, even we didn't knew kind of that it is neuromarketing, because the thing is how it all works, how it will function, is because how our brain makes decisions. And as Maria have her knowledge in psychology, we incorporate that all into design. And because brain is functioning more or less the same for most of the people,
So yes, the question is, does anyone of you know what is user experience? Nelly said, sure we do.
Yeah.
So this is really good question, because now we recently discovered the collection of 26 definitions of user experience. It really means that every person could understand it in different ways. But as Alexander said, user experience is all about how our brain make decisions, but
and perceive the information.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if we need to know if anyone know for sure the definition of the user experience. If so, please write into the chat. So we know if you're a bit aware or no. Watch some video about UX. Okay, nice. So, anyone else?
So maybe you will explain a bit.
Enchants and user satisfaction. Okay, good definition. So actually, that's a thing. What is the user experience? Sometimes it's confused with only user interface or UI. It's not true. You probably may have encountered, if you are interested in that team, about the team. You may encounter the articles about that UX is not the same as the UI, because actually UX incorporates everything that you can see on that slide. How is any product? Everything that related to the interaction between the user and the product, and the brand behind that product, because things that people see, touch, smell, even hear may affect their experience about the product.
Yes.
And on that slide there is a link which Maria said about, with the 26 definitions. You can read them. They are all different. They are started from 1996, and as you can, if you will look, you can see that they're constantly changing. That's because the user experience is developing, the understanding of it is developing, and it always incorporating more things and gathering kind of. It was only about the computer interaction, then it became to the more user interaction, and then it grew up to the even more wide perception. Yeah, thanks for the link in chat.
So I think we should answer to Alexandra. She said that it is how you design your product.
It's not certainly, because it's not how you design your product. It's how users perceive your product.
So later we will have a very funny picture exact about this example.
Mm-hmm.
So
we have a good thing.
What the difference between design and user experience?
Yeah, that's the answer to. This is how it's designed. This is how it's used, actually used, and this also can be perceived as user experience, because the thing is that sometimes when people talking about the user experience, they tend to give the motivational and good examples, and they don't tend to provide bad examples if it's not some edge cases like burning batteries or exploding things. But for product owners, for us, for designers, the bad impressions help to develop the product, to develop experience, because all feedback from users is valuable.
So the question is, how many of you have faced it to bad user experience?
Maybe bad product interactions, because it affects the attitude to the product and behind it to the brand.
So if you will write us some examples, it will be great. We can Show many times.
Many times. Please give some exact examples. It could be a spilled coffee which affected kind of your impression about the whole brand, or that exact cafe, or it maybe badly printed photos, so you don't give a try again for the same print shop, and etc. And we need that examples to explain a bit. When I had the wrong position of buttons in the app.
Yes.
Okay, yes. So you
Very
tend to
common problem.
You tend to click wrong buttons if they are badly positioned.
For example, we have a very good example here with bank website on the place where should be search. They place it
the input for the login number. So we don't have this into the place where it's okay with connection.
Tell us, please. Is it okay now?
Okay,
now
fine.
It's okay. Thank you.
So I don't know. We're limited. Too much restrictions, functions, embedded UX. Okay, let's answer Steve. Is it a bad UX in iPad? For you, if you don't like it, it's definitely true. And as we already said, and we will repeat it afterwards a bit, that the user experience, and actually we wanted to name the webinar by that, user experience outside of the digital space and inside of the user's brain, because the experience, the impression that your product is making is inside your user's brain, because it's his single experience, his impression, and you can affect it, but that doesn't mean that doing some product you will automatically put some experience into it. You can design the use cases. That's vital. We will talk about that later. You can put neuromarketing techniques. We will talk about neuromarketing techniques on the 8th of March. Maria will tell more about neuromarketing. And today we are discovering more about the experience of users, how they perceive things and how they treat things. So just a second. That's another example, that even interaction with some absolutely not related to any actual product things could provide the user experience. As you can see on the picture, and that's why we asked the examples, when you are thinking about user experience, it's very important to focus on the overall impression, onto each sense affection, because you can actually, that's neuromarketing thing, affect on the taste, on the hearing, on the color perception, even on the websites, on the digital things. You can have smells, of course, on the store, and etc. So that's for each exact product, for each exact shop, let's say, it's all unique and should be crafted to the needs of the exact visitors, of the target, of your target. And there are very useful books which are kind of fundamental. You can read them to have a bit more knowledge about the user experience, about how to incorporate it into your product a bit later. And the great collection on the last link, we will send the whole presentation afterwards, so you will have access. Yeah, we will give the links later.
And whole presentation, of course.
Okay, we have an example. One more example. Was buying coffee in a machine last week. Could not find the button to get change. Had to put more money to buy second coffee instead. Yes. And actually we have example about such things. And we will definitely talk about that on the next step. Okay. Now we get to the point.
So yes, we tried to very shortly to discuss, to explain definition of user experience. And the question is how all this related to your business. And the answer is very simple, because of even in pure B2B industry, the final customer of your business is always person, always people. So that's why it is so important to understand how to make your product, your service better to your exact target audience.
And that's why we have 2 series of webinars incorporating together user experience and neuromarketing. Because by affecting that all together, you can kind of control, you can affect on decisions. You can affect onto your users. And actually these aspects include virtually anything. Colors, smells, as we said, shape of your logo, also give impression of the... Good question. Why neuromarketing? What's the difference with normal marketing? That we will explain on the 8th of March. What the difference and what the things more in more details. Basically, neuromarketing is operating data from the brain, and we have an example how our brain functions. We all see that picture, and most of us will follow that sequence of the phrases that are given here. And please put a plus into the chat if you followed exactly that sequence. So you read first in the box, then read the descriptor, then a small letter. And please put a smiley if you noticed the smallest part on the top of the black box. Great.
Okay, nice.
And that's a really great illustration of how our brain functions, because we actually just controlled the focus of you as users, of the focus of the attention. We guided through our deserved scenario actually, and working with the user experience, one of the fundamental things is to develop user scenarios, how users will interact with your product, how they should behave, and how you want them to behave.
And where the buttons should be placed.
Yes. And we get to the point where we're saying, don't make me think. What does it mean? And if you're already interested in user experience, you might encounter that, because it's, I think, one of the first books on the user experience by the Steve Krug. We have a link on the previous slide, on the very first book. And Don't Make Me Think initially was about the only web interfaces, but the thing is that we have that great example with the vending machine, because it's one of the examples that we wanted to give. Because when you're struggling to find what button you should press, on the parking ticket machine, on the vending machine. When you're struggling to decide if you need to put first the coin or to select a product on the vending machine, or where you need to go to orientate yourself in the metro in the new city,
or even what you should do to get service more fast, or what steps you should do to make some requests to the company, and so on.
That's all is a user experience. It's what you experience as a user when you are using some particular service or machine or a product. And for now, why we incorporate neuromarketing as well here.
So the conception of don't make me think nowadays is the most important conception because we are all overloaded with information, and classical marketing said us that we need
free touches
to
get the client,
to get from potential client to buyers. But now, based of neuroscience researches, we can tell that for today we need from 7 till up.
Yeah, and up.
And up.
That's because
touches.
That's
with
because
customers.
we have all our senses overloaded. That's why we incorporate neuromarketing, and maybe neuro UX, if we would say. Because we need to address our senses, our users senses of our users in the easiest way. We don't need make them think how to use your product, where the button that they're searching for, where to get the phone number from your website. That all should be designed by the product owners, by you as a startupper. What do you need from your customers, from your clients on the first place, and to put that into the focus of them? Yes? Okay. We have another
question, I think.
We have another great... Sorry? Yeah, one-click checkout.
Amazon, yes.
Amazon one-click checkout or click PayPal button. About the one-click, it's one of the uses of Don't Make Me Think, or it's actually when you make your customer's life easier, it is always great. It is always useful and valuable for them. They could recommend you to the friends just because of the great impression. It could be good service, not best service, but the great impression. Great impression makes you to share your experience and your user experience about the product. Okay, the thing is that great products are always made by the very demanded people. They are well thought. They are perfect, mostly. And to build a great product is not enough only to get to your users to use your product, unfortunately. And this is why the design and the user experience design is bounded with neuromarketing together.
And I should say that it's bounded with your target audience. That's why for some people iPad
yes.
doesn't look good. Of course, for some people, some Apple Watches doesn't look good. It's normal. You don't have...
you don't have to be liked by everyone. And the great product, always great for some people. And it's not great at all or it's the worst product for other people. That's why the more successful products are having holy wars against and over them, and why the great user experience also having, let's say, spread on the market, because people sharing what they experienced, they love to share, and we just cannot separate for now, for today. That's why that altogether is important. We cannot separate neuro and marketing. It's all together from the user experience, from product development that should be put into the very basic, very beginning of your product or service. We have an example to explain it in details, because it's, while it's all in theory, it's hard to understand maybe. And please look at that kettle. Does it have UX by itself? What do you think? Does it have good UX or bad UX? Can you write?
Hard question. Oh, interesting.
Looks good, but will have good UX for you?
Should try before.
Yeah,
nice.
should try
before.
That's the point.
Nice design can be UX. It depends, and we will explain a bit later. It was Vlad who wanted to try before, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
No, the nice design. Okay.
This design is good, but UX, no idea.
No idea. One button, but UX. And actually, we will explain on that exact product about the UX at all. That's the kettle. Probably everyone have kettle at home. They're heating boiling water and somehow using them. And the thing is that for one particular person, that exact kettle will have the greatest UX that he ever had. And for other one, no. That's include many factors which you cannot affect. You cannot predict who will buy that UX, but you can work over your, it's named target audience, but it's not always, but it's more about who's the user, who's your perfect user, how he think, what he lives for, and what his values. And about the UX of that kettle. Imagine you have a water tap, very short and fixed. You just cannot get with that kettle under that to fill it with the water. You will receive bad experience from using it. And you have tall or flexible water tap, and you just don't notice how you easily fill in that kettle. You receive good experience, but you don't realize it. So we also can put one point into the good user experience, that it's unnoticeable, and
one point to the bad user experience.
It's noticeable, yeah. And imagine that kettle is made from the stainless steel from outside. And when you boil the water, it heats up from outside as well. So depending from the kitchen size that you have, you will receive from that point of view good or bad user experience with that kettle. You can touch it, the hot stainless steel, because of the small kitchen, and you will notice that. You will blame the producer of that kettle, you will blame that kettle itself, and if you have a spacious kitchen, you will just not notice that it heats up until someday or never. Because it have handle, you raise it and you pour the water, that's it. You use it, you receive nice experience. And also...
So that's why I wanted to
yes.
answer, yes. That's why good design, it's not every time good user experience. It could be looks nice, but it could give you bad experience, bad emotions.
Impressions. And saying about design, it's very important to separate how does it look and how does it function. It's a very famous quote from, I think, from the Jobs, that the good design is how it functions, not how it looks. And by doing good functioning item, you will probably create nice looking item as well, in most cases. Okay, so please write us, do you agree with such approach, such method of the viewing on things, in that example for the kettle, as the analysis of the user experience?
Let's repeat.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Great. Can a decoration element can be considered as bad UX? It's good design but had to remove dust, bad UX. Celine, it's a good question, and the thing is that UX, user experience, is always for the given user. So for you, that may be a bad user experience with that decoration element. For other person, he will just not notice that. Let's imagine he have a household cleaner and he just don't know about that problem, or he don't give any value to having some dust there. So that's the point. For you, you are the particular user that can be defined by some psychological portrait, that you are the person who are worried about the cleanliness of the apartment, who love decoration because the question and because of the searching for some decorative elements, and who clean the apartment by yourself. And that all together, that characteristics will give us, if we are producers of some decorations, that we should not do some sticky things that easily hold the dust. We can cover the decorative element with some anti-static, anti-dust cover, and that will solve your particular problem and will give you the good experience with that product. And we want to ask you once again to think about the question: if there are any aspects that may concern you as the representatives or the owners of your product
or service
that may have not good user experience, maybe, or you kind of having
doubts
about it, because we can try to analyze it right away and to give you some improvements on it. So we remember that there was a game controller, the app. So please write us if you have any existing issues or potential issues that you know about, or if you have received a new view from what we said and what we gave examples about.
Okay, maybe we start to answer the question which we have in our document.
Yeah, let's start. Please think about the question about your particular products, how we can improve the user experience of your users, taking into account everything that we talked about right away. And what do we have in the questions? So the furniture, don't like iPads.
We already talked about.
Yeah, actually, yes. About the iPads, we already answered. Why neuromarketing? One-click PayPal. The app, quality of the support service, and Steve is the meditation app. Okay, can find the button to pay. So Steve, you have several questions there. Could be solved with the quality of the support service, and you have the problems of the payments. Actually, the good definition about the good user experience, if users just don't realize that they just had some experience, or they realize that it was great. So you can solve it differently. The most cost inefficient will be having a support, because that means that that people that will get to the support will receive their solution, yes, but how many people will not get to the support because of the other issues? So the best thing that you can do is to encourage people, or to show them the button right away. And we didn't saw the interface because we should take it in account anyway. But you can encourage people to pay you or to donate you by some real without even having pop-ups, because they are nasty. But you can put some motivational things like we did that app for you, and we really want to feel your support, and have a link there.
Or even instructions, step by step.
Step by step, like sliding things.
What to do
to
get your service or your product. It will help to understand what should be done on each step. Maybe it will help you. Okay,
the next question. I have a small construction company. How I can implement UX for my offline business? Okay,
very good question.
Sorry, it's scrolling. Okay. You can think from the point of view of your visitors, of your users, because it depends from the details. If visitors are coming into your place, you can feel them more comfortable by doing several things. In offline, it will always work. The smell of coffee gives visitors, in that case, the impression of the office space and working processes, and they will probably give them the good experience if they will receive coffee after having the smell of coffee, and bad experience if they just smelled coffee, sat for a while with the manager, and then went without coffee, without the suggestion for the coffee. That's really things that could be worked over to implement actually UX into your offline space.
I think we should tell a bit about the touch of
points
of contact.
Yes, it's a thing from the neuromarketing, from the following from the next webinar, on which will be on the 8th of March. But to define, because it's all really bound very closely all together, by implementing good impression on all, it's called touch points or points of contacts in the classical marketing and neuromarketing. It's all points where your users having a contact with your business, with your product. So saying about the offline space, when people came into your space,
even before, when they see your door and your sign.
Yes, there are already many points of contacts. First of all, they see the sign, they already have some impression of your business. They open the door, depending from how the door is opening or it opened by itself, they have an impression and experience with your company.
For example, with construction company, if you have more hard to open door, it will impress your customer as you are very serious company.
May. And for instance, if the doors are opening automatically, that will be more inviting. And moreover, it's also working thing. When doors are opened, and imagine if it's cold outside and warm inside, so people will feel that warm weather inside, the warm wind from inside, they will feel more welcome in that space. Then, when you enter inside, depending from how the reception desk looking and how receptionist dressed, how he welcomed the visitor, and that all have the huge impression on the experience of the using your as a company. And we have another question. Food delivery. Need users to buy more products. It's not beneficial.
We have here.
Okay. It's not beneficial to deliver only one dish, for example. The great thing, it's also you're here stating actually the marketing problem, not user experience problem. Because if they are successful at ordering one thing, that means that they received the good experience with your app. They're actually receiving the delivery. Actually, the delivery will also affect the impression on your app, even if it's not your own delivery. And how to increase? You can, for example, say that people buying Coca-Cola with the pizza, and you can say that 90% of people buying the 2-liter Coca-Cola with that exact pizza. That will hugely improve the effect of that binding two products together. One dish. Should the size of the controller have to be small to fit in the screen cover, affect the feel of the controller in hand? Smaller and lighter and more portable in competition, which is the plus but doesn't feel good in the hand. It's a question from Matt. Matt, about the game controller, about your question. That's a user experience question, not marketing question. That's great. And saying about the controllers, we actually have you can dig into the history of the manipulators, and you can discover that that problem was already solved once by Logitech. They had a relatively small mouse which holds good in hand, and because of the materials, it was a lightweight in comparison to other ball bearing mouses, because it get to be optical. And what they did to solve that issue, they put weights in the mouse to balance it, to feel it more, more reliable, more concrete, and also the matter of the impression of the experience with the game controllers is how it feel at hands. So the material itself, the plastic itself, also will have impression of the quality and durability of the controller. So if it's a cheap and glossy plastic, it will impress to have kind of more cheap and less durable thing. And if it's kind of more warm, soft touch, a bit weighty, it will give impression of the durable thing and more, let's say, premium thing. Okay, the next question. I have service helping people to solve construction problems in household.
It's about constructing.
Okay. If I propose croissant for every visitor, some clients can think that's nice, but others might think that to make too much profit from my services and don't know where to spend money. Okay. The question about croissants is the good and great question. And you can actually offer some, not croissants, but candies for everyone, not offering that for everyone. You can put a big bowl with candies that anyone can take if they want to, and if they don't want to, they will not take. And that will not make the impression as much as a croissant that you spend in their kind of money to impress them, but will give more welcoming feeling.
But it's all, I want to continue that, it all depends from what exact your target audience. We have great example from our own work when we had clients, it is premium clinic in Moscow. So they came to us to understand what they do wrong, because all their designs and all their marketing things didn't work well. So we started to search and learn what exact their target audience. They said that their target is people who has very high position in companies or owners in big businesses. So these rather wealthy and I would say rich people who is using really privileged service. So they think so. We started to research and understand that that was not their target. Why? Because that people in that level, they never try to find service for themselves. They never see the website or advertisement and never do the call to that clinic. Why? Because they all have personal assistant who does all works, all this job for them. So the target was really that personal assistance, and we should work with that people, with
with providing impression and impression of the stability level and etc. and the quality for the personal assistance of our clients. But the thing is, very important thing and conclusion for that case is not always our client, is our target for the communication.
So yes, I would answer to Maurice's question about what to do inside your construction company. It really depends from your target audience. If it's rather old people, for example, the croissant will work good. But if it's more self-confidence, it could be bad for you.
Yeah, independent from if you're premium level, then it will be perceived as a kind of normal. It's a part of, they will be surprised if you will not offer them a coffee in premium. At least offer, not bring. And if you are the price cutter, then if you offer anything extra, will exactly mean that you're spending money from them.
Yes.
Yeah, so it all depends from your target. Okay, about the questions about the testing the system, it's how you can know in advance is it good or not. It's very not hard, but very uncertain question, because it cannot have certain answer, because depending from the stage of your product, you either should or should not have the army of testers, because at some point even the small bug in a system, if you are already a Facebook, let's say, will affect impression of the app and the overall system. If you are in a beta, then it's better to maybe put some notice, if you remember, if any of you remember, how it was with the Gmail. It was many years, kind of 15 years ago, when Gmail just rolled out. They had the beta sign under the logo for, I think, more than 8 years, and they were still in beta, despite the fact that they are Google, and they probably have the army of testers. And the thing is that when you're saying you are beta or whatever, you are telling people that the product is not final, it could be not perfect, and if they will find some issues, they may give you a feedback which is valuable for you to improve the product. You can encourage them to give you a feedback by having some signs, some icons, some call to actions to your feedback is valuable for us. We want to improve our product, and please share your feedback, share your experience with us. We want to improve our product. And that might be a solution to not spend extra money for testers, to receive real users' feedback, because each user will have its own setup. And in some particular setups, it's always possible to catch new bugs and errors. It's always happens in more or less complex systems.
That's true.
There are special tips for analyze UX in my product. Great question. We will actually give some tips. They are about neuromarketing on the next webinar, after next webinar. But they are actually incorporating the point of view that everything that you do to address to your audience is actually affecting the impression that you give them by your product, with your product. And of course, it affects the experience that they experience using your product. And yes, there are special tips. We will give them on the next webinar, during the webinar, and then send the PDF with
these
that tips.
Principles.
It's actually not tips like
yes.
you should. It's not tip you should think as your user. It's a principle, and that principles will help you to look at the certain angle onto what you're doing in each step. Because when you're considering that. You know for whom you are doing that will help you to understand better why you should or should not do certain things. For example, why you should not offer the croissant for the visitor if you are price cutter, or why you should do that if you are in premium, because they are on the different levels.
And what kind of croissant you should offer in that premium moment.
Yes. We hope to see you all on the next webinar, because there will be more explanation. Yes. There will be more explanation about the things that we talked about today. We hope to give more clear understanding of why it's not separable things, of how to design your product, to design the user experience using neuromarketing techniques, actually, not only tips.
And more basis principles, how our brain function and how we can use this in our services, in our products, in our, let's say, relationships with clients.
With users, yes. And actually, will we give that?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Actually, we have a consultancy service for startups as the company is Great Crew. And we both using our strengths to provide the great improvements in what you're doing. And that consultancy, of course, are paid, but we can provide you discount for attendees of that webinar. Please, you can write us to the welcome@greatcrew.io and claim your discount. We will send everyone that information to the emails after the webinar.
Of course, you will get the presentation.
And that presentation, of course.
Some examples of good UX design and bad UX design. We have more really good and we hope helpful pictures, how to do or how not to do in your products and services. And we still can answer some questions if you have it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nelly, for the link.
If you have some more certain questions about because to answer the more complex questions, we need to have more deep analysis.
Of course, and
yes.
For example, to answer about the delivery service, I think answers will be on next webinar, where we will talk about marketing examples.
Yeah, it's more about marketing, true.
How to get your clients, how to raise your maybe average check, and so on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and how to trigger people to use your payment button, donate button, how to put more into the cart, how to get to the paid card faster. Okay, thank you all for attending. I really hope that we helped and answered your questions, and hope to see you on the next webinar in a week.
Thank you, and of course we would like to thank you InnMind for this opportunity to be here to talk to you. Thank you, Nelly. Thank you, all the team.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Hello to everyone. Thank you once again, Great Crew team, and thanks to everyone who attended today the webinar. So my name is Katerina. We decided today to participate, all the team, me and Nelly, in this webinar, and I'm going just to give some additional information that might be useful for all the attendees here today. So I think you already had a link to our webinar webpage where you can see the calendar of the next webinars. Our moderators now will share this link with you, and you can subscribe, you can sign up, and you will receive the updates about the next webinars. And don't forget to come to see the second session of Maria's and Alexander's webinar next week. So it will be on the 8th of March. Please do not forget that this Saturday we also have one more webinar from our great speaker, Frederick Joy, who was actually also speaking last week, and it was such an interesting topic that our users requested him to speak once again. So we'll have him here on Saturday. Please, moderators, could you send the link to this webinar? And Fred will be speaking about managing tech project. So he will speak about dealing with developers, dealing with outsourcing companies if you have to, and he will describe the stages of technology development. At the same time, I would like to remind you that at InnMind, if you have already your project, you can come and register your startup. And you can address for the expertise, for the fundraising services. If you are looking for investors, you can see with our team. So please share the link here as well, Nelly or Natalia, about our expertise. So the startups who are trying to find investors, they have to prepare some documents, sets, and we are helping them to do that, and we're helping to assess the startups as well. And you can check our online marketing services, where you will see that we address some social media, help with social media, with search engine optimization and other things. Yeah, this is it for today, and thank you once again for being with us, and join us on Saturday and next Wednesday.